Hey, I'd like to talk to you about my friend Jesse. Jesse was a friend I made in the 7th grade. He wasn't the most careful person I ever knew, and one day him and his friend decided to do something incredibly stupid. They crossed the street without looking on a blind turn and Jesse was hit by a car going 40 miles an hour. He spent over a week in a coma. When he woke up, he had a steel pole in his leg, holding his leg together where he'd broken his bone in 3 places. He also had part of his skull removed to remove the pressure. In the end, Jesse ended up with no permanent damage. But his family, however, had huge financial losses because they were not insured. His family had said they weren't insured because they didn't understand the plans available to them and thought they would just be a waste of money to get any sort of health insurance. So today, in my speech, I'm going to tell you about all the plans available to you underneath the Affordable Care Act, because it is important for you to be educated in the Affordable Care Act, or in the plans available to you, so you do not end up like Jesse and his family. So firstly, in this speech, I will talk to you about all the plans available to you underneath the Affordable Care Act. Secondly, I will explain why the Affordable Care Act was put into place. And thirdly, I will talk about all the problems you will have if you do not oblige by the Affordable Care Act's rules and regulations. And also, I will tell you about all of the financial assistance options that are available to you. So now that I've told you about what I plan to do in this speech, I would like to talk to you about the plans available to you underneath the Affordable Care Act. The first plan available to you is going to be Bronze 60. Bronze 60 has the lowest premiums. However, Bronze 60 also has the highest deductibles, which is $5,000 per year. So before any of your health insurance benefits can kick in, you will have to spend $5,000 out of pocket before they kick in. Also, once they do kick in, they have the highest co-pays of any of the plans. This plan is only suggested for people who are healthy and do not plan on having any change in their health in the near future. The second plan available to you is Silver 70. Silver 70 is a plan that covers roughly 70% of your overall medical costs, but this plan also has deductibles, which you have to pay before you can activate any sort of insurance help. But these deductibles are much lower than the Bronze 60. And although this does have a low premium, it still has high copays comparatively to the other options available to you. So another thing to keep in mind is if you make less than $29,000 a year, according to Covered California, there will be another option for the Silver plan that is available next, or for the Silver plan, where it will modify it according to how much you make per year. So if you make less than $30,000, you will have some sort of benefit that will help reduce your cost overall, such as Silver 84, which only has $500 in normal medical deductibles, but $50 deductibles towards any sort of medication. But this bill has much lower costs than any of the other plans, besides Bronze 60, as well as it has lower deductibles, and it has very little cost to you, but it will cover roughly 84% of your overall medical expenses. But the next plan available to you is Gold 80, and Gold 80 covers 80% of your overall medical expenses, has no deductibles, but has a high premium. And although it does not have the lowest copays, it has very decent copays. This bill, or this option, is only suggested for people who have high health risks and go to the doctor often. But this plan is also more expensive and offers less if you make less than $20,000 a year than the Silver plan, the modified Silver. So that is something to take into account if you make less than $20,000 a year. The next plan available to you is going to be Platinum 90. Platinum 90 covers 90% of your overall medical costs. This has no deductibles, but has the highest premium of any plan available to you. It also has the lowest of the copays available. So this plan is if you are in serious need of medical attention only. You probably should not get this if you are hurting for money and do not have any sort of medical expenses to speak of. So now that I've talked to you about the plans available to you underneath the Affordable Care Act, I will tell you why they brought why the Affordable Care Act was put into place. The Affordable Care Act was put into place because according to Kaiser Family Foundation, 40 million people in the United States do not have health insurance, but only 7 million of these people are legal in the United States. And under this bill, no one who is illegal can get these benefits. So their goal is to bring in the people who do not have medical insurance and bring them into the healthcare system and reduce costs overall for the overall community. However, there will still be problems with this bill, but it is designed strictly to reduce costs for everyone involved and offer healthcare insurance that's cheap and affordable to people who make less than $20,000, mostly college students and minimum wage workers. So that is why this bill was put into place. So since I talked to you about why this bill was put into place, I would like to talk to you about the problems and about what will happen if you do not abide by the Affordable Care Act, as well as some of the other options that are available to you if you cannot afford the Affordable Care Act, or any of the plans under the Affordable Care Act. So if you do not have health insurance by the 1st of January 2014, you'll be fined $95 or 1% of your overall income. If you do not have insurance by the second year of this bill, then you will be fined $365 or 2% of your overall income, whichever is higher. The third year you do not have it, you will be fined 2.5% of your overall income, as well as $695. And then if you make less than $15,000 a year, according to Covered California, which is our state healthcare marketplace, you will be covered. You will not have to pay anything towards your health insurance. So that is something to keep in mind. Also, by the year 2015, all bigger businesses are required to offer their full-time employees of Affordable Care Act or medical insurance that is up to par with the Affordable Care Act, but you will still be on your own for the year of 2014. So this is something to keep in mind. So in this speech, I talked to you about the plans available to you underneath the Affordable Care Act. I also talked to you about why the Affordable Care Act was put into place. And I told you about all the fines and problems you'll have if you do not abide by the Affordable Care Act, and some options available to you if you cannot afford any of the plans that are currently available to you.